Good morning, everyone. Happy New Year, but most importantly, happy election year. It is even-numbered years are some of my favorite because we as a community and as a nation get to decide on our leadership, or Mina's giggling in the front because she knows how much I genuinely love this, and now I have a platform to be really nerdy in front of all of you. But it really is for me an honor that the Chamber gets to be able to help make sure that all of you are confident voters when it comes time to cast your vote. There is a lot of attention and due attention being paid to the national race, but so much of what shapes our lives on the Central Coast is decided at the local level. And so this year we're going to be, as Hillary mentioned, convening our committees to discuss ballot measures. They're really going to be kicking into high gear this summer before we release our voter guide in early fall. And we're also going to be pulling together events where each of you have the opportunity to talk to candidates who are running for office, people who are asking for your vote. We do more than just set up debates. We make sure that we have small group opportunities for you to get a better feel for who each of the candidates are and really have that face time. Get to ask them about things that matter most to you, whether it's a business issue or you just want to kind of get to know who they are as a person, what they like to do in San Luis Obispo. The questions that are asked are completely up to you, and you're empowered to guide that conversation. The first of those opportunities is going to be coming up on February 5th, where we have the candidates for supervisor in districts 3 and 5 coming to Hotel Slow. It's going to be a great evening. We have wine from some of our member partners where you can sit down and have a great conversation about what matters to you in our community. So just as a reminder, we've got 3 dates that are most important for everyone to know for this, say, the next 2 months. They are February 3rd, February 18th, and March 3rd. So I don't know if everyone knows this, but about 70% of San Luis Obispo County is registered to vote by mail. And so on February 3rd, that's the time that anyone who's registered to vote by mail needs to be looking out for their ballot in their mailbox. They'll be sent out between the 3rd and the 5th. It takes a few days to get everything out, but make sure you're looking out for that. And if you have any questions, if you think you're registered to vote by mail but don't get your ballot, you do have 29 days to request a new one, to work with the clerk recorder's office to make sure that everything's in line and your vote counts. I really encourage you, once sort of you get that ballot in your hand, to talk to as many people as you possibly can about voting and about what these local elections mean to you, because they actually have until February 18th to register. So even though you have your ballot in your hand, other people can still register. And so it's really important to talk to everyone, whether it's your children's babysitter, a new neighbor who maybe has, been unboxing and hasn't had time to change their address. They can do all of that before February 18th and still vote in our local elections. And finally, the primary this year is on March 3rd, not in June. I read a story recently and was a little bit appalled by the number of people who didn't know about that shift, because it is really important, not only for, as I mentioned, national elections, but locally, it's not just a semifinal, as it were. It is your first and last chance to vote for supervisors in districts 1, 3, and 5. The time to decide who that will be is March 3rd, just a few weeks away. So really obviously encourage you to vote, but mostly if you have any questions, please go to our county clerk recorder's office. They are able to be reached via email. You can call them on the phone. You can stop by their office, and they're able to help you with any questions you might have. They're incredibly well-informed and responsive to voter needs. They're really geared up for this election season and want to be as helpful as possible. So in closing, please talk about voting almost as much as you think I might be talking about it over the next few weeks, because the more people talk about it, the more inspired young people are to vote, the more welcome and engaged new people to our community feel, the better decisions will be made that truly represent our community. Thank you.